What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with James Longshore, founder and CEO of Xtra-Gold. It's a pleasure to have you back on the channel today, James. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Aaron, and thanks for having me back. It's been about a year since we did our last update, and I always love coming back and talking to your followers. We always seem to get some interest in the market when we talk to you. So I know you have some people out there that like the gold sector.
Yes, of course, especially your story specifically. So it's a pleasure to have you back on. Can you tell us everything that you've been up to since we last spoke?
Sure. 2022 was a great year. We hit a milestone. We had that internal target to hit 1 million ounces on our resource, which I can say we've accomplished. And in doing that, we had to dedicate 3 of our diamond drill rigs to drilling a zone called Zone 3, and within it we found this new zone called the Boomerang Zone, lower shoot of the Boomerang Zone, that is. And we drilled that. We put 15,000 meters, 81 drill holes in it, and that's what got us to our target, our internal resource target of 1 million ounces resource. Not verified by independent party, just internally. So I wanted to add that, and I've added a few pictures here for your viewers. Picture 1 here is me on top of our Kibby Gold Ridge, which you've seen before. We're about 300 to 400 meters up there drilling. Picture 2 is one of our diamond drill rigs drilling the lower chute that we discussed. And that site visit, that was drilling in December when I did that site visit. That gold chute was an impressive 50 meters thick width and grading at 1.3 grams per ton, which is very economic. And we chased that all the way down to 400 meters last year. And like I said, most of our drilling was in that lower chute. The third picture here is our exploration team analyzing the core coming out of there to give your viewers an idea of some of the work that goes on in the ground. And then I just wanted to close out with picture 4 here. You can see on the drill collar, it's drill hole 502. And that's our VP of exploration, who's been with us since 2006, Yves Clement. And that closed the year out. So now that's pretty much a summary of what we did in 2022, and we're looking forward to 2023.
Yeah, it's great to see some visuals. So, what does the company have planned now for 2023 in terms of accomplishments as well as goals?
Well, very simply, around that resource, we have, like you saw there, 502 holes and 1 million ounces internally on our modeling. So what we want to do is that puts us on the map as a significant gold discovery. But what we want to do is put it on as a major gold discovery and add a lot more tonnage to get it to a couple million plus ounces. So what we're going to do is, we know we've only drilled 1/3 of the ground up in that area where we know the gold chute exists. So we're going to start targeting now in 2023 all that open ground with our 3 company-owned diamond drill rigs to add significantly more tonnage. And we've done some grassroots exploration to identify those, and we're hitting some of them now. We just don't know how big those new zones are. And to add to that, last year we contracted one of the best South African firms for geological modeling, which took our magnetic data and resistivity data. And what they're looking for is stuff we can't see at surface, below surface, to find other big gold chutes that we can't see from surface. So, and I'm happy to say that they've identified several potential large gold-bearing structures that we'll have to test this year. Now, we won't get all this work done this year, but like I said, our goal is to add as much tonnage as we can to close the year with our internal drill rigs. So we're excited, and that's what we're going to do in 2023. So it's going to be an exciting year.
That's a great plan. So, with all the M&A in the gold sector over the last few years, how's your company positioning itself to maximize shareholder returns?
Well, that's a good point. If you've been following the gold sector, where we don't have a lot of broad-based people following it right now. I think that's about to change. But if you follow it, all the major miners are acquiring each other. And why they're doing that is because their gold production is shrinking. Okay. And they can't grow their production because we've hit this thing called peak gold production. We found all the easy deposits. So this bodes well for Xtra-Gold, because any gold explorers like us that find major discoveries, those are going to be very valuable assets for those major miners that have depleted their reserves over the last decade, and gold prices moving up. Now, specifically in Ghana, we're even in a more unique situation because we have 4 of the top gold producers in the world that trade publicly: Newmont Mining, Gold Fields, Anglo Ashanti, and Shandong out of China. Now, those 4 gold producers in Ghana, similar. There's been no major discoveries this decade, except potentially our discovery. So as we grow our discovery to the couple million ounce potential, that asset's going to become very valuable, because as the gold price goes up, these majors are going to be looking at increasing their reserves. So this asset, if we get into another new bull market for gold, which I believe we're in the early stages, I think that that bodes well for all our shareholders.
Yes, it should be a very exciting time to come. So finally, where do you see the spot price of gold going in the near term? I always love to talk about the price of gold predictions, and how will this influence the value of your gold project specifically?
Well, like everything, gold explorers have huge leverage on the gold price as the gold price moves up. It's always been that way. I'll give you an example. With gold approaching 2,000 plus, which we all know, if we're in the gold market, is psychological all-time high. We need to take that out. What's surprising is that there's been very little interest in gold explorers like ourselves. So we're trading at ultra low valuations. For example, you can buy our stock right now at approximately $25 an ounce. So as gold prices go through the high, and a few people come back to the sector, which I'm seeing now, some smart people starting to invest already, I think you're going to see these valuations for companies like ours come off the bottom significantly if we're right on this next gold move. And you can never say 100%, but it sure looks like something's changed and we're heading for higher prices. And so I would, I hate to predict the price, but I know I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 2,500 by the end of the year. Okay, it's not a guarantee, but to produce an ounce of gold where we are costs about $1,000 to pull out of the ground. So if gold hits 2,500, those are very healthy margins, and this asset will be very valuable.
Yeah, especially if it hits 2,500, it's going to be very interesting to see where valuations go. So finally, where should investors and prospective shareholders go for more information on the company?
Well, I'd send people to our website, which is www.xtragold.com. That's Xtragold.com. If you go there, you can get our ticker symbols. We trade in Canada and the US. And you can also look through some of the technical reports and get as much information as you like. So I would encourage investors to start with that. And as they want to pull out, they can pull our financial filings both in the Canadian market and the SEC market to view our annual reports, and they can get a lot more data there, complete data. So yeah, that's where they can go.
Well, thank you for coming back on, James, and all those updates. It's going to be a busy year, and we'll definitely have to have you back on more than once a year now.
Let's come back on when we see that breakout above 2,000.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.